communications. Yeah?
Yes, can do.
Right. So without further ado, Dr. Mita Lad, the program leader for digital media and communications. So Mita, if you want to share your screen.
Yep, let me just make it bigger. Slideshow, there we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, everyone can see that, and everyone can hear me. Perfect. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome. It's lovely to meet you all online. I know I'm going to get to meet a couple of you in person soon. My name is Dr. Mita Lad. I am the program leader for digital media and communications. I'm a lecturer in digital media. And here's just a little bit of information about the degree program. So it's a course that's heavily kind of grounded in combining theory and practice. There's a large emphasis on practice, but how do you implement theory into that practice is very dominant in our program. We have designed the curriculum around and with the help and assistance of industry professionals, those who are largely based here in the UK. And the idea of the degree is to fill a gap in the market that is currently there's space there for our graduates to kind of step into. So the kind of roles that students can go into once they have completed the degree are things like content production, social media management, campaign management, mobile and website design, as well as kind of exploring AR and VR design as well. So I'm just going to talk you through briefly the module structure, how the years are organised. What you will see when Show also presents is that the first year is a combined first year. So we do share some of these modules with the advertising students as well. So they're all called communication skills, creative workshops, innovation projects, and creative media and cultures. And it is a combined year one. So this is kind of almost assuming that the students are all coming from different areas. So this is trying to ground them in terms of practical skills, be it getting their heads around things like Adobe Creative Suite, shoring up their communication skills, learning about the difference between professional comms and informal comms, and also giving them some contextual, broader theory and information around, how the digital world has impacted our communities and our societies as well. That's kind of what we explore in creative media and cultures. Second year is very practical. This is when they really do get to explore things like the AR, VR environments, get their heads around kind of basic UX, UI design, and also start thinking about what it is to be creating content for the digital sphere. The digital research and creative practice module is also around getting them to learn different research methods, what it's like to conduct an interview, what do they need to be aware of, how do they gather data that's legitimate, reliable, valid. There's a lot of disinformation in this world. Let's not add to that. So this is something that we do try and get the students to think about more critically, and think about where their content is coming from. The actual, information that they put on their sites, or apps or content that they create. Third year, which so I presume that a lot of agents here and colleagues are probably thinking of like where their students can fit in terms of the second and third year most of all, but everybody is welcome on all 3 years. We do not discriminate. Everybody's welcome across the board. So yeah, so that's what second year is like. So if you want to give folks that kind of information, please do so. Third year again is quite practical. This is when they start to learn things about strategy. So the social media management module is thinking about, well, not only what content, but also how to strategically, time it, schedule it, but also thinking about legalities, ethics around managing social media platforms and the content. Social design is thinking about how digital media can help with kind of issues around maybe perhaps climate change, or how it might help tackle mental health issues amongst a specific age group or a specific demographic. So these are the kinds of modules that students will have, will be taught on the digital media and comms degree. The major projects is quite a fun one. It's what I lead, and it's where the students can work on a passion project. So throughout the 3 years or however long they've been with us, they might come across an idea. They were like, oh, do you know what? I need more time to do that. That's a website that I really want to do. And it's been great. Like this year, I've had a couple of students. I've had a student from the One Academy in Malaysia who's come over for third year, has done a fantastic project because he wanted to develop his skills around 4D cinema and VFX, and has created a great little video. But also it tackles the idea of making sure students are taking a break as well. It's a really fantastic video. Some of the students have created guides around unknown areas around China. So they've done a travel guide, a travel brochure. The photos are fantastic, and they're just absolutely amazing. And I can send you links to these little videos and to this content in due course. At the moment, we're a bit early, but I'm currently having a little show reel made of all the current this year's projects. So as soon as that's ready, I shall send it on to you all so you can show students what it is that they can do here, and how it's still relevant for their home countries as well. So we do mostly, so there's no exams. Yay. So there's no exams, and the way we teach our students is through mostly workshops. And because we're in London, it will be it'll be silly if we don't take the students into London and show them just the variety of places that we have access to. So we take them on field trips to museums, galleries, special exhibitions that are on, and we also try and get as many industry contacts to come in and give masterclasses as well. Sometimes it might specifically be for the digital media students. Sometimes it's in combination with the advertising students, maybe the graphic students, or whoever else it might be of interest to as well. So as I said, there are no exams. So the work is largely coursework, portfolio-based assessments. They get guided through all of this in great detail throughout the modules, and there's examples available for students to look at prior to them undertaking any assignments. So their hands are held very closely, so everyone knows what it is that they are doing. So please reassure students that there's no exams, because I don't like exams. Who does? Who likes exams? We have fantastic facilities here at Hendon in Middlesex. As you can see, this is one of our students with the metaverse headsets, or Oculus as they used to be called. This is kind of what we use to develop the VR, AR environments, but we also have green screen rooms. We have excellent facilities, excellent cameras, and a whole range of excellent equipment that is available for students. Our technicians are amazing. They are super helpful, and they are willing to, you know, help students, even just kind of out of their own volition, to kind of go and train them up on cameras that we might not be including in our classes, but you know, they are welcome to go and use different microphones, different cameras, different lighting, equipment. It's all there in our very fantastic kit hub. So yeah, so there is those facilities available. This is an example of how not to do a PowerPoint. I understand that there is a lot of wording on this. I point this out to the students, and that's why I've kept it in. That is my reason, and I'm sticking to it. So here are some examples of our graduates and the roles that they have gone into in the past couple of years. So as you can see, they're within our kind of sphere, within our industry, in various different ways. But you will see that not all of the jobs are within kind of, you know, Meta or with Google or with someone obvious. You know, Akil here is basically a comms assistant for the NHS. And what I have to highlight to the students all the time is that you know, a sports company or an engineering company, they all want to be on social media now. They all need someone to manage their social media accounts because they're looking for new clients, they're looking for new customers, but they don't know what they're doing. I've got a friend who's an accountant who wants somebody to come and help him with, you know, try and get his accountancy firm on social media. So it's I'm trying to get the students to think more outside the box when it comes to these roles. And initially they might just be the one person, you know, doing everything, making the content, taking the photographs, writing the copy, managing the social media, and our degree skills them up to do all of that and manage all of that. So yeah, so, and also as you can see, you're also then able to go on to further study. So Lavinia here from last year is currently doing a master's in digital business. So we've got that rigor in the degree that you are able to then continue on to do a master's, or maybe even going forward doing a PhD as well. I've only got a couple more slides, and then I'll open it up to Q&A. So yeah, so you'll be taught by, so I'm one of the as program leader, but also what am I saying? I'm the program leader, but also one of the key tutors on the role in the degree. I've got colleagues who also have contacts within the industry. They take on the more practical side of the teaching. So there's a whole team of us, and you'll just be joining a great group of alumni, not only here in Hendon, but in Dubai as well. And so we like to welcome you to Digital Media and Comms at some point. And I will now take questions. I hope that wasn't too quick.
Yes, we're coming to the Q&A session. So is there any questions? So if no, I would like to ask some of the questions that were mentioned very frequently by our agents, and as well as some of our student inquiries. So like I would like to so yeah, basically like thank you for the sharing about some of the very important, the information about this program. So you mentioned about it is a very practical program. So, and also the the field trips are included. Can you please explain and share more about this part? I bet to say that my students or the agents are also very interested on this point. Thank you very much.
Okay, so in terms of practical, what I mean is the students. So I suppose in a traditional way, the students would come in, they would sit down, and we lecture to them like I'm doing now. You know, it's almost like a lecture. You take notes, and then the students will go away and maybe do some reading, hopefully do some reading, and then write an essay for their assignment. That's like a very traditional way of, you know, how degrees have been taught. In our classes, what we do is a bit of that. There is a little bit of that, but it then also means that students are we then give them the opportunity. So I might explain to them, this is how you do an interview. These are the concerns, these are the issues that you might have, but then here are some of the ways to overcome those issues. Now, what I want you to do in groups is design an interview that you're going to give to somebody. So you're going to interview somebody who uses lots of beauty brands. And I don't know, just thinking of a big name beauty brand, MAC, for example, would like you to go and do some interviews for their Instagram post. So now what you need to do is design some questions, and then in the afternoon, you're going to interview all of us, and you're going to edit that and make it into a video to put on Instagram for MAC. So it's these kind of pretend, hypothetical scenarios that we give to the students in order to put that knowledge that I've given them into practice. So that's one example of what I do. In other ways, it's kind of how, like, they'll be practically using Photoshop. They'll be practically using cameras to capture videos, to then edit and sort out the sound and things like that. So that's what we mean by practical. In terms of field work, field trips. So, for example, this year in February, in the Tate Modern, which is one of the contemporary art galleries in central London, it's in a really big old power station. So the space is amazing, and it's on the south bank of the River Thames. There was a special exhibition on all about kind of electronic art, but digital art and cyber art and things like that. So we paid for the students to visit that exhibition and also kind of get inspired about how not everything has to be corporate. You can use your skills in a more artistic way as well. And a lot of these exhibitions also have the more they are more in depth as well, because they put it into context with what's going on in the world. Recently, my colleague Stefan has also been taking the students to the Bank of England, who have a free exhibition about cryptocurrency. So, you know, that's also something that might, you know, what is blockchain, all of these kind of so it's almost kind of slightly sneaking into things like computer science and economics, but it's in this digital sphere. NFTs, you know, all of that is learning about things like that. So this is what we mean by going on field trips. Some of them are free, some of them we try and cover through our budgets, but most of the time we try and give access to everyone. We might go to the design museum. There's a whole host of spaces that we try and, you know, big name museums and galleries that you probably have heard of. We try and look out what's there and get the students to go to them whenever possible.
Yeah, the
Museum of Brand.
Museum of Brand.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I think that is also one of the very unique features for universities like us in London, right? So because students get
Exactly.
access to those resources, that's wonderful. So yeah, we have one question from our colleague Farah. So Farah, do you want to speak this out, or you want me to read this for you? Okay. So could you share what kind of support we offer to our students throughout their studies and after they graduate?
Of course, yeah. Sorry, that was a really important bit as well. Yeah. So okay, so throughout the studies, students will have a academic advisor per year. So it's normally the teaching team who act as their academic advisor. This is the person who is like a personal tutor. It's another word for personal tutor. They can go to them with any concerns that they might have, or whether it's personal, whether it's related to the studies, whatever it might be. And then from the academic advisor, they can then guide you to various departments within the university. So we have a disability service. So if the student has dyslexia or some other learning difficulties, those that department can step in and can provide the student with guidance, or will also provide the lecturers with guidance as to how we can help the student learn better. There is also MTMX Works. They are a bit kind of like what the brand says. They are responsible or help students get jobs. They advertise jobs during the year, so part-time jobs. If you want to come and be a student ambassador during the open days, you go through them and you can work with me and the other lecturers, showing potential students around. And then on top of that, they can give you interview practice. They can help you develop your CV. They can help you find internships as well, either during holidays or perhaps maybe, one day a week. One thing I forgot to say, sorry, during my presentation was that students are normally on campus only 2 days a week. So the students do 2 modules per semester. So 2 modules from September to December, and then 2 modules from January till April. And normally, roughly around 2 days a week, they'll be on campus. So then they've got the other time to perhaps do an internship 1 day a week, maybe have a part-time job for a couple of days a week. So they've got the space to do that as well. So MGMX Works is there for that. And also kind of throughout the course, we introduce them to industry contacts, people that we know, and that is there for them to build their networks. We urge them to get onto LinkedIn and start connecting to these people that they meet, who come in to do guest lectures from the get-go, because then that is their connections to potential internships as well. So that's the kind of support we do offer students throughout the studies. And then there's a whole host of other people as well, in terms of the international office. If you need support in other ways, personally, there's also support there, but we can all kind of guide you to those teams when the need arises.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I better say this is a very informative session. Thank you very much, Dr. Mita Lad. So I'm gonna let you have a little bit of rest now. So thanks a lot for all the explanation and for all the examples. Very, very, very attractive, I would say. Okay, so may I have your screen sharing, Dr. Shuo Liu? Hello. Yes.
Thank you, Betty.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let me share my screen with you. Okay. So I think before I started my introduction, I will show everyone a short video about our facilities on London campus in our Grove building, which our program based. And you can very clearly to see how fancy and how advanced of our current technology. And when students come to Middlesex at the school as a faculty of arts and creative industries, no matter which program they study, they will access all the facilities I show in this video. So can everybody let me know? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, great. So this video can show all the facilities in our school. Can you hear the sounds? No? Okay.
No.
No? Okay,
No.
yeah, I think
When you share
No, but
screen, there's a
it
little
doesn't matter.
toggle on top that says include sound.
yeah, let me try it again.
But I don't think it matters because the sound is just music, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, the sound is just the music. Yeah.
Yes, we can hear the sound.
Let's try that again.
Okay, thank you. So let me share my slides. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Shuo Liu. Currently, I'm lecturing in digital branding and program leader of advertising PR branding. So at the moment, we are the only one joint programs which can include advertising PR branding in one program. And we are the only one in the UK at the moment. So from our programs, what we really focus is we try to provide a full package for our students that they can optimize their future employability, which means for each of the modules we provided, and students will get a portfolio for their future jobs. And they can use their portfolios to find whatever job they want to work in the creative industry or the beyond of the industry. So for our programs, we focus on the student to develop their creativity, and also we do a lot of practice to help students to understand how to understand their audiences and how to create a powerful content and develop their campaigns. As I said, we are the only one degree in the UK to combine these three areas in one courses, and students can develop their skills for brand management, campaign planning, and also PR practice and also some skills in social media marketing. At the moment, we have a very interesting modules, which is AI and digital communication and marketing. Students can learn how to use AI tools to critically and ethically to create content and help them to develop their campaigns. And also, like our students will work with the real life clients to develop the steps they needed and the messages they need to craft to really, touch their targeted audiences. And also, throughout their 3 year studies, students will develop their skills in content creation, design, campaign development, and also because of students work very closely with the real life clients, so they will build up their industry connections. The same as the courses of digital communication, we don't have any exams. And every time when I told students that, they really love it because, everyone know like creativity, sometimes content creation, campaign planning, these kind of skills we can't really access by exams. And also students can access all the Adobe Creative Suite and for their creation. And also from our teams, and we are quite diverse and international team. And both all of our colleagues will have international industry experience, and also we all have the PhDs in our field. So in our programs, because we have so many alumni currently working in creative industries, and also sometimes they develop their own business, and then we have a very widely link with industry people. So which means we have a lot of opportunities to provide the students during our courses, and they can have their internships, and also they can very easily to find a placement, like when they are studying in our courses, they can build up, the employability skills through both industry practice and study with us. So actually, what is our courses about? What we do is relatively try to bring messages to the targeted audiences. Actually, we use a different kind of communication channels, informal or formal, or sometimes traditional or digital. On the one hand, we help students to really understand what is their products. The products can have a very wide kind of meanings or or like types. Sometimes they can be a message, or sometimes they can be a a real product. For example, like a phone, iPhone, computer, like this kind of products, or sometimes they can be a person. For example, like they can work for celebrities or politicians to develop, craft their messages to communicate to the wide publics. And then throughout, really to understand what is the product and to understand who are the targeted audiences, and then using a different kind of communication channels, we're sending out this kind of message to the potential audiences to have a good engagement and understanding. So at the same time, we also in our courses, we really help students to understand the societies and the changes in like the politics, economics, and help students to have really deep understanding about the environment we are surrounded. So this will help students to provide to create it a very powerful campaign to resonate it with their targeted audiences. And sometimes like people working in this industry, they should have the ethical and critical thinkings about what we can do, how we do it, and how we can best achieve our goals for both sides. And then throughout our courses, like sometimes people will wonder, like I studied advertising PR branding, maybe I'm not working in this industry. is totally fine, because in our courses, students will develop a very transferable skills, and they will be very creative. And also throughout the courses, we will engage them to really know how to do critical thinking and how to do planning, presentations, and pitching their ideas to their targeted audiences. And also they will learn a lot of like business stuff, for example, how to develop their business, and also how they can collaborate with their entrepreneur partners. And then for all kind of like content creations, it's not only for advertising, PR, branding, but for other industries, people still need this kind of skills, and they can be a strong team member. At the same time, like students have the design skills, they can design many like communication or other kind of things in their work. Like for every job, creativity is always the key. So, which means, like, for example, we have a student from Hong Kong, and currently she is applying a variety of jobs, working in the commercial industry and also sometimes working in the government or, like the charities. There are so many chances for our graduates. Here's our courses of content. As Mita said, at the moment for digital comms and advertising, PR, branding, we share the common first year, so which has creative workshops, communication skills, creative media cultures, innovative projects. So in the first year, student will have introductory courses about media, culture, creativity. At the same time, they will have time to hands-on practice the design skills, and also how to, develop their creative ideas into a real-world project. And then in the second year, we will have our program-specific modules, which are audience insight engagement. Like for any kind of like industries, they really need to know who their audience is, what their characters, and also, what their media consumption habits. And then by understanding this kind of information, and that can help campaigns or, like brands to really to develop very specific strategies to engage and communicate their targeted audiences. And then they will also have the brand identity to really understand their products, their brands, and how to craft their brand image online, offline, and then maintain their good reputation. And also for the PR content creation, students will have, have a lot of practice skills to create social media content, PR, news release, and also how to develop their website as well. And then for the campaign planning, this is the module we developed and very successfully for many, many years, because we're working closely with the industry partners. For example, like previous student work with Oxfam, a charity shop, and also they work with Barnet Council to develop a very powerful and meaningful like social campaigns. And then for every year, we work with the real life clients and to help them to develop and also to help them to solve their problem as well. And then we can see from the third year, we have AI, digital communication and marketing. So this is very trendy because, like almost for every industries, AI is driven tools and technologies. And for our students, they need to know how AI works and also how AI works in our industries, and also how we can use it ethically, and also what the potential issues when people using AI. So this is because currently our graduates, like they have all this kind of like information and skills, and they are very strong. So which means they have more opportunities than others when they're applying for jobs, because we have so many industry speakers come to us and they say they use AI a lot in their everyday works. So which means our students already have kind of skills now, and then they are ready for their work or when they graduate. And for the brand management, students will really understand like what their brands, how they manage their strategies, and how they can help the brand have a long-term strategy to achieve their goals. And also professional identity entrepreneurship. So in these modules, students will get ready with their CVs, and also they will have the tips and skills to doing the interviews, and then they can develop their business plans if they have any ideas they want to be a future entrepreneur, or they want to develop their own business. And then for the independent project, students can bring all the skills and ideas they have developed in the past 3 years in one project, which means when students graduate and they have a work of portfolio to show their future employer what they have acquired in the past 3 years and in one project. And like if they want to step in the industries, they have something to showcase their future employer. If they want to apply for master or PhDs, they have their work ready there, like to prove their skills. So this is our course content. And also for the course structure. So normally we have 2 semesters. For each semester, student will have 2 modules, which means student will spend 2 or 3 days on campus. And like for the rest of the day, student can digest what they learned from the modules. And also student may have some time to do some internship, or they can have some part-time jobs, to maintain their everyday life and have save some savings for their parents. We have some industry speakers workshop for almost every modules every year, and then students can have face-to-face communications with the industry speakers and the industry professionals, and they can bring the front line of what industry happens and what student needs to our class, to our students. And then we have so many alumni currently working in the industry, and most of them like growing very quickly. Normally, like after 2 years, they will be the managers in their workplace, and then they develop very, very quickly. I remember this year we have a guest speaker, and is our alumni as well, under 30. And she is the only under 30 creative directors in a very top PR agency in the UK, which is very impressive. At the same time, we have some global brands clients like Shein from China, Oxfam, and I speak of Oxfam yesterday, and they are willing to provide opportunities for our students to develop marketing strategy campaigns for their like charity shop. At the same time, they are willing to provide a field trip and on-site visit for our students to see like their I think one of the largest shop in Oxford Street in London. So this is great opportunities for our students. And then here I list some of the students' success when they graduate, what kind of like jobs they are working now. They be creative copywriter, advertising executive, marketing executive, account executive, and also some of them working in their companies to do the global or international communication managers, social media specialists. And some of our graduates, they become researcher as well, for place branding researcher or researcher at the third bridge, and also content and social media managers, PR, and community manager. Like based on our Asia Pacific, at the moment there is a trending in the government and also the charity NGOs. They have so many opportunities for advertising, PR, and branding students, because they need people to really understand the community, the society, and have a good engagement with them. And also sometimes they need someone to organize and develop their like events as well. So it's very promising, I would say, a job, and also for our future graduates. And here are some our past students, their works. Like for our program, some of the students, before they come to our program, or since they started their studies in our program, they successfully developed their self-branding. And some of them will have more than 200,000 followers on Instagram before or after they complete our program and graduate. And they are very, they have the skills they need, and also they develop successfully of their self-branding. And sometimes a student can develop a very powerful brand strategies to visualize brands in the digital world, and also create so many creative digital campaigns to engage their peers, Generation Z, and also have a very good engagement with their communities, and they become the leaders in their communities as well. And then, this is all for our programs. Students can develop the skills in communication design, and also they build up, based on our program, they can build up their future success. As Mita says, London is a great place, and there are so many great opportunities. For example, like the art galleries, and also the different kind of museum. And for our students, we will have a field trip as well. And for brand museum, design museum, and also the Tate Modern. And London is a great place, and sometimes for all industries, they have so many exhibitions in London. And then there is a place called Excel. It's in the Costume House, and they have a variety of exhibitions about, AI, marketing, or sometimes there's construction. There are so many opportunities, and the student can go this place and to visit and to build connections with the industry professionals and explore their interest and where they want to head to for their future. And also because London is a creative hub, and before I working in a AHRC project, working on UK, China creative industry research and innovation hub. And I believe there will be a future collaborations with other countries as well. So which means we bring a lot of opportunities for our current students, what they can do, how they can develop in this industry, and what kind of future collaboration opportunities bring to our students. They can based in London, but they can find their a future employability around the world. At the moment, we are the only one programs. We have 4 campus. We have London campus, Dubai, Mauritius, and Vietnam campus. And then it's like a hub for creativity. And I would if you have any potential student want to study advertising, PR, branding, marketing, and don't hesitate to contact us and apply for our programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shuo Liu. So, you mentioned that actually this program is one of the only program for advertising, PR, and branding in the UK. Yeah. So that's very interesting. And so may I have your more explanation on such unique selling points or some unique features about this program to all of our agents, our partners here today?
Yeah, I would say, when you review the programs about advertising or PR or branding, and for our competitors, and you can see sometimes they only focus 1 or 2 these subject areas. And then for our programs, we combined all these 3 in one, or even we expanded to marketing as well. Why we're doing this? Because when students apply for their undergraduate, they don't really have a very clear ideas where they want to head to. For example, do they really want to do a PR or marketing or advertising? And then for our programs, we have multiple dimensions in one program. And then for students, when they join us, they can experience and try like different like directions. They know what it is, and they will help them to thinking about, maybe I'm more like good at PR or at like advertising or whatever. And then that gives students some time to really understand and reflect what their interest, where they want to head to, and then like and finally, you know, like what they want to do when they graduate. And it's not, you know, they apply for a program and then sometimes they find, oh, I'm not really interested. So for our program, our selling point is we give students a chance, you know, at least 1 or 2 years to really think about where they want to head to. And then during the whole process, and for our programs, we have a really, I would say, very supportive team for students. For every modules, we have an individual tutorial. Students have their ideas, and for the staff, for the lectures, we support the student to find their ways, find their interest, and support them how to develop their project. We are not a judge. We don't have so much judgment, but we support them to develop. I think we give students time and also give them time to grow, to develop. I think this is our very unique selling point.
That's wonderful. So yeah, my colleague Farah also left one question here. So how would you explain the difference between the advertising PR branding program and the digital media communication program in simple terms? So this is a very
Excellent
tricky question,
questions.
Farah.
Yeah, I think I can give my explanations, my
Yes, please.
understandings, and I'm happy Mita is anything like she want to do. I think the difference between advertising PR branding and digital comms, advertising PR branding, you know, like we have very specialized on these 3 fields and also marketing, and we have for each modules in our program, we have something about advertising, PR, and branding, and they are kind of, you know, kind of similar, but they have their very specified areas. For example, advertising is very focused on, you know, how to develop your creative ideas and how you develop the creative ideas to real life project. And for PR, people students need to know what is PR, what's the difference between PR, advertising, and marketing. Actually, PR is based on, it's very low cost. Is to build a long-term trust between you and your targeted audiences. And PR is more like working with the media people, working with journalists, content creators to maintain their positive relations. And PR is using someone's mouth to say something good about you. It's all about reputation, it's long term. And for the branding program, branding is kind of linking with marketing. And then still branding is focused on the brand, the product side, and also to see what is your unique point, and also how you how you craft your images with the publics, and how you develop the strategy for the brands as well. And then I think for us, we focus more on content creation, design, and campaign development. And then for digital comms, and they're using a very advanced technologies such as, you know, VR, AR to create immersive experience for their audiences, viewers, users. And also I know for digital comms, they have them. The student will design some mobile apps as well. So it's more focused on that areas. So this is my understanding. Mita, do you want to add something here?
Yeah, no, that was a really, really good explanation. So even though, yeah, we do cross over a little bit in terms of, you know, things like campaign management, how to manage social media, and how it is used as a marketing tool, there is that little crossover. However, we also do focus on more design in terms of how do you design a good mobile app? How do you design a good website? How can you design really good AR, VR environments? How could you use these kinds of very digital technologies to tell stories, so that we then also go into like journalistic realms as well. So how could you tell the story for a newspaper, but in a new way, for example? So we might include things like animated visualizations, and also we do kind of focus a little bit on, or should I say a fair bit on, kind of really getting to grips with kind of filming and how you edit and put together filmed narratives and so forth. So there is that slight overlap in terms of the management, media management side, but then there is the distinction where we tend to veer more towards getting to grips with designing digital assets. So for example, an advertiser, so one of Show's students might come to my student and say, I would like you to design a website for this brand, my brand. Can you design it for me? And then they will work out the inner workings and the flow and how it all looks, and the wireframes and so forth. So that would be kind of the combination of how the two disciplines would work together.
Okay, yes. Thanks for the explanation. And yeah, just being aware that we have the different options if you wanted to explore differently in this creative industry. So yes. So yeah, great explanations. Thank you all. So
can I just add also, because there's a shared first year between the two programs, so a student can start digital media and communications. Then after they've done the first year, they realize, well, actually, I want to do advertising, PR, and branding. So in the second year, they can choose to change. So there is that. I mean, it very rarely happens, but there is that option. So you don't feel like you have to commit from the first year, because the first year is shared anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
Sorry for
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just add the question you asked, the unique selling point of this advertising PR branding. I think also, in the industries, and it's very kind of integrated in all areas now. Like when students apply for jobs, and sometimes, the job titles, it kind of combined, like sometimes 3 of them or 2 of them. And then for our programs, like when they apply for future jobs, which means they almost have most of the skills they need for the jobs in this field, they have the advantages to, get a chance to get a job in the future.
Okay. Yes,
Yes,
that's good. So yeah, thank you all for the sharing about the different attractive points on these 2 specific programs. So now, while we're waiting for more questions, I would like to give some of the complimentary about some basic information about Middlesex University, so that our audience, they would have more information about the schools itself. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Yes, yes, you can see my screen here, right? So yes, hello. My name is Betty. So I'm based in the Asia Pacific Regional Hub in Hong Kong. So now, we have our colleagues coming from Hong Kong and Kuala Lumpur and Shenzhen, our mainland China offices colleagues. So basically, Middlesex University, we are in the northern part of London, and in the zone 3, and it's very convenient for you to access to the center of the London in 25 minutes by subway. So that means you can enjoy your London life at the same time with a peaceful and residential area with a more reasonable living expenses. So you can see this is our very good campus location and near the Hendon Central. And then we have, this is our campus. So I would say it's very, it's not normal for a London university to have such a big and comprehensive campus. As we all know that London is very expensive, right? So Usher Hall on the right hand of this picture is our nearest accommodation hall, and it's 5 minutes by walking distance, and it's very popular. So if you wanted to apply for this hall, make sure that you apply by the end of this month, okay? Okay, and then for Middlesex University, we have 140 years of teaching experience, and we are the top 5 modern university in the UK. So here, like as we had this webinar session for our arts and creative industry. We have been invest a lot of money to build on our art center, the group. So I bet you say that you will enjoy your study and your life at Middlesex University. And apart from our brilliant facility and equipment, we also provide the free printing and photocopy in our library. And as mentioned by our program leader before, that we also have the tutorial session, academic support for all of our students. And then actually, Middlesex University, we are one of the first UK universities to offer each students a free e-textbook. So that means you don't have extra charges for the textbook after you paid all the tuition fee for that 1 year. So here, for more details about our accommodations, you see that all the international students are guaranteed for the first year of arrival. So that means you will 100% get a room for you. And the price is 800 to 1,000 per month. And the costs include all the bills and contents, including the electricity, the waters, the Wi-Fi's. Okay, so we have different faculties. Here with us today is our art and creative industry. And then we have business and law and health and social care, education, science and technology. And this is our tuition fee for this coming academic year. So you can see this is a very, very reasonable tuition fee or a price compared to many other UK universities, right? So yeah. And so we are trying to give the students this idea that if you wanted to study in London, and if you wanted to, let's say you have some financial concerns, we could be one of the very, very good options for you. Not to mention that some of our arts and design courses are really, really highly ranking. Okay, so for today's 2 programs, for the year 1 entry, our standard requirement is 112 UCAS points. And also we accept the A-level foundation year from other universities and BTEC and IB diploma. And also for Hong Kong students, we accept the Hong Kong DSE. And also we accept a combination from different examinations. Okay, so apart from year 1 entry, we also have those 2 programs with foundation year. So you will see that the students, they will get the offer and the costs cover 4 years of the program. So that means the student don't need to apply again after they finish the foundation year. And also for the foundation year course, they are already studying some specific course contents relating to those specific or different programs. Okay, and also we accept the advanced entry for these two programs, if you, let's say, like in a second or in the third year of other majors in the university already, you wanted to change your major, you can, let's say you can start from the first year entry. And then if you wanted to, like, you're currently studying the year 1 or year 2, you wanted to complete, you wanted to finish or get a bachelor degree from us, from Middlesex University, we welcome you to transfer to us, like from your current schools. We accept the credits transferation as well. So, but this is a subject to our tutors and PL's review. So this is entry basic, some of the basic progression pathways. And for all the English requirements, our UG bachelor degree, we ask for overall 6.0, and with each component 5.5. And also we accept a list of English tests, including our internal English test. So if you are interested, we welcome you to apply and get a conditional offer letter first, and then we will help you to register for our internal English test, which is free and which is online. You can do that at home, which is very, very, we will say, easy to arrange. So we have in test almost every month. So make sure that you don't miss the deadline to apply for the certain test. Okay. For example, the reading and writing is similar to IELTS, but it's a little bit different. For example, the reading and writing in total 2 hours. And then after you pass the reading and writing, and you will be invited for the listening and speaking in total 30 minutes. So the time is much shorter than IELTS, I would say. Okay. If you did not meet our standard English requirements, we also provide the professional English course, and make sure that you don't miss out the deadlines or the course start date of those different durations professional English course. And for some of our agent partners, here is some of the guidance of the agent portal. So help your student to prepare for the following documents, and to submit the transcript, the public examination scores, personal statement, reference letters, and then you get the conditional offer letter, and then we will be guide you step by step. So no worries about this at all. And this is our contact information. So welcome any inquiries, or if you have any questions regarding today's webinar, or if you want to have further communication with our program leaders today, we welcome you to send the email here, and we will be helping you out with those questions. Okay. So yes, I think we've almost done with our today's seminar. Okay, so if there is no more questions, we will be stopped from here. So just let us know if you need any supports, or if you have any further inquiries, questions, just feel free to contact us. Okay, thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, Dr. Shuo Liu and Dr. Mita. So we hope that we can catch up very soon.
And thank you all so much. Thank you, Betty, for organizing this series. And see you all next week for our next installment.
Yes, correct. Okay. Thank you very much. I see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Any questions, do let us know. See you.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Betty. Thanks. Hello. Let me stop the recording first.